everybody, I'm here with Heather Thomas in her New Jersey garden, and you have a lot of interesting container tips that I thought maybe you could share with our readers, because your containers look great for so long throughout the year, and then you've got some ways to make them a lot easier to care for too.
Yes, and we're actually right by something I can show you here.
Yeah.
So this container, it might look like it's planted right into soil, but it's actually not. And I'll just show you how I've done this right here. This is a very large container, one of those drop-ins that you can do.
That's so
and
smart.
I've just basically kept it in its original pot.
Yeah, I love that, and I don't know if you can see, but there's another pot overturned inside here, and that props it up and gets it where it needs to be.
It does, and you can really adjust the height that way.
Right, yeah, that's so smart. I love that. And then do you change the containers out throughout the year?
I do, and this is what makes it so easy. So when this container is done for the season, I'm able to then find another container. So I might, for example, just pop mums in the fall, and I'm able to transition without a lot of work. And I think what I've tried to do with my containers is, for me, the hard part of keeping them fresh is digging out what's in there.
Exactly.
So I've tried to figure out all these ways that you can take that process out of the equation completely, and that's one example.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and if you wanted to overwinter, or I mean, if you wanted to leave the pot out in the garden for the winter, you know, in my garden, I have to get the soil out of it because the pots are damaged if they freeze. And this way, everything is just sort of separate, and it's
portable.
It's a lot more portable. I love that.
It really is.
So that's the first tip. There's another one I'd like people to take a look at over here. So some people call this mandevilla, some people call it mandevilla. I don't know. We don't care about that. But
exactly.
But this vine will just keep getting taller and taller.
Oh yeah,
all year.
It'll top the roof easily.
So pretty. But that's not all that I mean, that's just the summer look for this container, right?
It is. So I'll tell you a little bit about what happens in around November. So a couple of years ago, it was November, I was planting bulbs. I was trying to do bulbs in a container. And I thought, I wonder if I plant my bulbs in this spot, could I put my Christmas decorations on top?
Sure.
And so what I decided to try was I planted my bulbs, and now we're zone 6B, and our bulbs can overwinter here outside once they root in. And what I was able to do is, I know that what will kill bulbs in the winter is not so much the cold here, but the winter wet.
Right.
And they'll rot. So I decided to buy a non-permeable foam topper, which I got from Michael's.
Okay.
And I set that on top, cut it to shape, and into which I was able to stick all of my holiday decorations.
That's so smart. I love that. So you had the bulbs just resting underneath,
waiting,
and then you had your holiday decorations all winter.
Magnolia and greens and holly berry
lights.
All of that. And then here's the magic. What I was able to do is in late February, after the holiday decorations had been out all winter, I just simply lifted them off. And the bulbs came up right after that.
And then just did their thing.
They did, and I think I'm really all about how do you make the containers transition through the seasons. And so I got 6 months of interest out of that one container by doing the double duty of the 2 seasons.
I love that. And then when the bulbs were done, do you pull the bulbs out and save them in another part of your garden for cut flowers?
That's exactly what I do. I have one sort of raised bed that's not an irrigation, so that they stay dry, and we'll see how they come back. You know, every year I sort of see, do they make it or not, but it's a cutting space for me.
So if they come back, then you can use them as cut flowers. And then you plant the summer planting and...
Yeah, exactly. I planted this only about a week and a half ago.
Oh, wow.
So...
And what a great way to, what a great thing to come home to every day when you drive in.
It is, and not a lot of work, because I'm really
not
only
a lot of
planting
work
twice a year, so it really makes it work.
So speaking of not a lot of work, there's another tip that I thought you should show our viewers about making container gardening easier.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's go take a look.
So here's a big container that could be difficult to manage if you didn't use some of your strategies
My
here.
tips. Yeah, so this is a large enough container where I planted the outer rim right into soil, but with this mandevilla, I knew this would be really hard to pull out at the end of the season.
Right, because you wanted to save it.
Yes,
over the year, if you
exactly,
can.
if I could, certainly. And so what I did here was I took the original container that this came in, which was relatively small, and I put that container into another container that's in here that's much larger.
Okay.
So this is actually going to sit in a container inside the bigger container all season long.
It's a sleeve, sort of.
It really is. Yeah.
And then at the end of the year?
at the end of the year, I'm able to pull this right out without any trouble at all. And then I can put, for example, a little mini Christmas tree in here and really change this out really easily.
Right.
And obviously these are really easy to pull out because the roots don't really go that deep.
Right. Yeah. But a big plant like this,
it just
it's
takes
a project
a lot of work
to really
dig it
saw
out
down around the roots and try to get it out.
Exactly.
So,
and
and
you
you can
just
save it
lift
or
it
not
up.
save it, either one. But in any case, it's just easier to get in and out.
It really is.
I love it. That's great. Heather has all kinds of great tips that she shares on her website, capecottagegarden.com, or on Instagram. You can find her at Cape Cottage Garden as well. And thanks so much, Heather. These are really interesting tips.
Wonderful. Thanks for coming by.